Let me be honest with you. You don't want to be the one watching this event on Instagram. Because on the 26th of April, something different is happening. And now when the social is bringing the people, the energy, and the moments. With the names like Kabza the Smalls, DJ Maporisa, Young Stunner, you already know the energy is going to be different. Let's be real though. You're not going there for the music. You're going there for the experience, the people, and for the memories you didn't plan. Tickets are moving. The last thing you want to do is just hear about it after everything is done. So don't wait. Comment in down right now and I'll send you the ticket link. 26th April, Foster Stadium. Be there or just watch it happen. Before we kind of get distracted.
Oh.
It's the best phone I mid conversation. Yeah. Alright, cool. Are we good? Yeah, he remembers. Okay. Do you check her mic as well? Fifi, her mic is
something.
Fifi.
Hi.
Okay, leave it.
That's all right. Okay.
It's a pamphlet, no?
Him towards me.
Yeah.
Okay, then if
okay.
it's like this, then
Hi.
we can, yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Alrighty. Let's do this. Alright, cool. Are we ready to do this? Alright, cool. Oh, got back this all of a sudden. Alright, guys. Anyway, guys, welcome to another episode on Catching Feelings podcast. This is episode 24, 25, 24?
24.
All right, cool. Let's do this. We are here with, should we go with Fifi, Refilo?
Fifido?
Fifido?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Is that like your nickname or?
Yes. It's
Who calls you
my
Fifido?
close friends and family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do as well.
Everybody calls you Fifido?
Yeah.
Oh, snap. Okay, cool. Well, look, I think today what we're going to do, we're just going to try to maybe keep it very light, nothing too crazy, hopefully. Okay. And we're going to want to discuss relationships. I mean, this is a relationships and dating podcast. So we're hoping to get your insight. I got my ghost gang out there as well, who might also just chip in now and then. Okay. So to kick it off, I think for me, just from the top of my head, I want to get your insight on how do you think the dating market is like in 2026?
Well, I think a lot of things have influenced today's dating scene. Well, there's so many dynamics that actually change the whole dating scene because, you know, now we have gender roles, we have LGBTQ community.
The alphabets, gang.
We have witchcraft. We have competitive partners. We have people no longer believing in unions. Unions can be relationships, marriage.
Yeah.
And, you know, people just want to keep it casual.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think relationships nowadays, they are not as formal as they used to be. People are keeping it casual and light. Yeah, so...
Okay, and then what do you think is the okay, from both sides, on both genders? Yeah. What do you think women are doing wrong? And then what do you think men are doing wrong? Before we get to the positive sides. Like, what does each gender do wrong?
Okay. I'll start generally and then I'll split the two. Yeah. Okay. I think both genders are now getting it wrong with regards to their roles in the relationship, which is what's causing confusion. And that's what's making a lot of relationships not last long because people forget their roles. The roles are actually reversed or switched in a way because now women are providers and men are men are you know, the nurturers and stuff. So yeah, I think, if people could go back to the traditional gender roles, then a lot of relationships would have structure. And I think, people, they have a lot of expectations, with regards to their relationships, and they don't really set boundaries with regards to, okay, baby, I'm willing to love you to this certain point, or I'm willing to compromise this for our relationship to work. So if people don't, or people have less expectations, I think a lot of relationships would be successful because both parties would be on the same page. So, with regards to men, I think men want submissive providers.
Wow, I've never heard that before. Eh?
Okay. Well, that's my point of view.
I think maybe like the term submissive providers. It's a very unique
term.
Yeah.
Do you want me to break it down?
Yeah. Maybe just for people who want clarity.
So I think a lot of guys, millennials or Gen Z, or us, youth of today.
Yeah.
Gents, they don't mind being pampered to a point that, they would rather be the stay-at-home dad, or have their partners literally take care of them, cooking for them, cleaning after them, and stuff. So at the same time, they want those women to go out and work while they stay at home. And they expect them to be loyal as well.
Yeah.
That's where the submissive part comes, where he expects the woman to be the man.
Yeah.
At the same time, he wants her to keep her femininity. So I think that's where.
Do you think there's a majority or minority in terms of that skill? Like, are more guys wanting women to be stay-at-home dads and all that stuff, or stay-at-home husbands? Or is it a minority, just in terms of the skills?
I think it's majority now.
You think it's majority?
Yes, because there's a lot of guys that scam girls because of what they have. Let's be honest, guys.
Okay.
Ladies are killing it. Ladies are working so hard.
Yeah.
Ladies have their own. Can we swear?
Oh yeah. There's a podcast. Do whatever. Yeah.
Okay, ladies have their shit together. And a lot of ladies, they don't need men for them to be successful, or for them to be regarded as, a woman. So that's why you'd find that, a lot of gents, they don't mind, because they know that I can't compete with this lady. She's driving an X4, for example. She's an executive. She's doing well for herself. She probably doesn't have kids, but, then there comes me. I give her a kid, and I want to be the man at the same time. I want her to take care of me.
Yes.
Does it make sense, gents? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that is wild. I think for me the shocking part is obviously from your perspective. You're saying it's majority.
Yeah.
So because then I'm trying to see it from a perspective of, it means that the guys, or majority of men, they don't want to be men anymore, or is it the things that they're so overwhelmed by just the progression of women that now they just don't know where they stand in the ecosystem?
Yeah, I think, I would link it to the animal kingdom, where you'd find that the lioness is the hunter and the lion is the one that just chills.
It just chills, right?
Yeah, and takes care of the pride.
Yeah.
So women hunt, hunt, women are hustling, and they are doing their best, so that they don't have to put themselves in a position of burdening their male counterparts or their partners in general. So that's why you'd find that women, they would rather stay single.
Yeah, I don't want to bring in the gents in this one. So guys, tell me, do you guys think, in terms of Fifi's just perspective, does it resonate with the kind of guys that you guys come across?
I mean, I'd say no. Okay. I don't think it's a majority thing. I think it's a minority.
Yeah.
Because there is a guy that I know personally who actually prefers women with money. Yeah, but he doesn't really give a flying F about looks and things like that. As long as the girl has money, she has a good car, a nice car.
Yeah.
Then he'll be attracted. And he enjoys when his chick actually takes him out, buys him clothes, gives him money and things like that. Yeah. So you can actually see that it's the life that he aspires to. But majority of the time, the guys that I know, personally, are guys that dream about starting their own family and actually having their wife not work at all and just being at home, taking care of the kids while they go out and make the cash. So that's the most amount of guys that I see.
That you come across.
I come across.
Yeah. Is it? You concur? Do you agree?
Anyway.
Because now there's Fifi's perspective, then there's Jigga's one, which obviously different sides of the coin. Which one would you say from your own?
I don't agree with guys being a majority of those guys that want to be stay-home dads. Reason being, I would say, Uti, you know, it's not in a man's nature to want a woman to take care of them. Yes, we do want to be spoiled every now and then. We do want our woman to think about us and say, yeah, as in, let me buy my boy or my boyfriend something nice. We do want that. But in terms of us really the wanting to be a stay-home dad, I don't think that's entirely true. It is happening a lot, but I don't think it's a majority of the guys that.
Okay, I agree with both of you, but I'm just saying that unemployment rate is very high.
True.
So I think a lot of guys, maybe it's not by choice that they find themselves being taken care of their woman or woman. But I think a lot of guys, they wouldn't opt for working hard. They would, deal with whatever that they're going through, and circumstances would actually lead them to, wanting those submissive partners. So I think maybe if the unemployment rate wasn't so high, then we would have those guys that you're talking about, the hustlers.
I actually agree with you on that one. Strongly agree.
Yeah.
Because the world now favors women more than guys. They actually get the first preference in terms of employment and all, and therefore a lot of guys really are unemployed. It's not a thing that they chose. On that
The
one,
system doesn't favor them anymore.
They are not favored that much, and it's a sad thing to view it in terms of how it's happening. But let me not go into let's let the topic breathe.
Just breathe a bit. Okay. I think maybe let me ask you though, Fifine, like as a woman though, would you ideally would you be okay with taking care of a man? Like in that way, like where you're paying the bills, he's staying at home, and you just kind of taking that male role.
Well, I wouldn't mind, but not for a long time, because I don't want to create a dependency. I don't want to make my partner be so dependent on me to a point that he relaxes. He must remember his place,
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe during the breather period, I wouldn't mind stepping in, but not for a long time. Because to be honest, it's exhausting, to nurture a grown-ass man.
So then, like, would you consider yourself like a traditional woman? You personally?
Yes.
Okay.
And I identify as she and her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your pronouns.
Yes, my pronouns.
Okay, cool. So for you, you're more inclined to want like traditional values, where the man is the one who's kind of doing manly stuff and like taking care of like protection, provision, and all those things, and then you become, because I know in most cases, I mean, like what we're talking about now, it's a very interesting subject, because as much as there's been a lot of evolution with you guys and whatever's been happening with men and the economy or the ecosystem, it's like we still have biological core needs that even back in the days we're still like subjected to. And I think the problem with women now, with where you guys are at, it's almost like your success is kind of also like hindered you in progression. Because the more successful you get, the more you're not willing to lower your standards, the more the pool of men now gets even smaller for you.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So now we're in a situation where even average guys, like, they don't stand a chance with what's happening in the economy or with just the dating market, because you guys are not willing to go lower, and now you find a situation where 10% of guys are rotating most women because they tick the boxes of what a lot of you guys are looking for, but not majority of men are able to provide. Or
I think, okay, with me, it's how I was socialized. My parents, they brought me up to have strong values, and I think people make a mistake of monetizing relationships, and it's really about values, love, respect. What else? Why am I forgetting values? Belief systems, humility, compassion, things like that. They should be the base of the relationship.
Yeah.
So if maybe, for example, I'm prioritizing money, whereas my partner doesn't respect me, then what's the point of us being in a relationship? How are we going to relate? How are we going to interact, if we don't share the same values? If you don't respect each other, if you don't trust each other, So I think with me, if we can meet each other halfway, if you tick all the boxes with regards to the values, I think money, it's something that can be considered at a later stage, because I feel like, we are people first. We came on earth with nothing, and we accumulate all these things along the way. You understand? Yeah. So no one is born with money in their hands.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I feel that with me, I would date someone who's not working, provided they respect me. They have good values, good belief systems and everything, because that's how I feel our relationship will work. I'm not saying money is not important. Trust me. Yeah, money is like the spice, the sixth gun of the relationship. That that's how maybe we make the relationship more fun, because we go out and stuff. But on a regular day, when we are sitting like this, like today to Sunday is for lovers, and we are bonding and stuff, and spending quality time together. Money is not involved there.
Makes sense. Chika, I think you wanted to add something, I think.
No, I mean, what I'm saying now about Gucci, from a guy's experience, it's like money is everything, because there is a point in life where maybe, let's say, you're still in high school, college, you're still trying to actually get the paper, and how women treat you. Women treat you like with the utmost disgust. Ngati, when they look at you, it's like you have feces on your face or something.
But you don't have money.
When you don't have cash.
Yeah.
So you grow up feeling as if you have to have money in order for you to be loved as a guy. Because as you will be a nice guy, you will have a good character and all, but most of the time, women don't seem to look at that. They're like, nah. So it would be nice to have more women who think like you. But truth of the matter, nah. Most of the time.
It's true. And maybe I'd like to kind of piggyback on what they say. It's like everything he's saying, oh my gosh, sounds so nice. It sounds so good on paper, and when you hear it, it makes you all warm and fuzzy. But in reality, that's not really what's happening. And I'm sorry, and I think it's just also unfortunate that even technology, social media is made even worse.
Yeah.
Just in terms of the people trying to, put in the highlights, reels, and thinking.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
I feel, Luguti, if people could stop dating out of desperation, then, you would get to see the authenticity of relationships, and people would be more genuine if they're not desperate. I think I'm talking from a point of view of someone who's content, ozenzelayo. You know, I do my own shit. I'm working.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't really date for desperation. Right. You understand?
Yeah.
So I think if more women were more independent and thought like me, bakona,
Yeah, they are.
baningi, you know.
But they're the ones who are also struggling the most, though.
Which ones? The independent ones?
Yes.
No, I think no.
No, like in terms of relationship, not in terms of their careers or whatever, but I'm saying in terms of trying to find suitable partners, because their independence most of the time also kind of also hinders how they're able to choose a mate, so to speak. You know, like that's what I was talking about the whole standards thing.
No, I think you guys, if you're dating someone who's insecure, ongazithembi, then you will feel intimidated when your woman is doing well. So I that's how I see it. If when uyazithemba wazi ukuthi awuna next awusebenzi, but then you have all the love and all the respect and uyapanda, you try to make your woman happy, then I think, yeah, then the relationship will be good because wonke umuntu uzwazi indawo yakhe. But if mina ngiyagwajisa because I'm doing well, then trust me.
Man, I think thinking ukuthi bese kanemali uyadelela, like
in most cases.
And I think ukuthi how women say it is that the guy feels intimidated.
Yeah.
And it's not really intimidation, it's the fact that they become insufferable about girl when they have money. They have this overinflated ego. Yeah, and now Tola Sega mistress out, because I've even seen a lot of times when maybe let's say there's a situation where a woman is taking care of a guy and when they break up, I've heard women say things like "Lo ngambona so bengumthengela ama underpende, but then he did this and that." So kuba yiyo leyo nje inkinga where now it's sort of like ngathi uyamdelela nalo umchita loyo.
Yazi into eyenza ukuthi women badelele guys in relationships, it's because, you know, to be honest, like guys end up wanting your girlfriend, like the partner, to be their mother, you know. And then you because mina I'm taking care of your emotional needs now, so ufuna ukuthi ngibe umama akho, you know. And so ufuna ukuthi manje mina I must take care of the basic stuff, and you know, it's a burden, especially mangabe you feel ukuthi, but then ubaby wayena angafundi ukuzenzela isikhathi esiningi, like ezinye izinto a rely kimi, you know, and uba umthwalo wami, and then you guys start becoming a mama's boy in the relationship, you understand? And then mina obviously ngizokudelela because ngiyabona ukuthi okay, but then ngathi uzikhohliwe, you understand, ukuthi mina ngizeleni lana, I'm not here to mother him, but I'm here to be the partner. So uyabona ukuthi a lot of guys, they have mommy issues, you know, and then the girlfriend ends up being the fixer of all those issues, you understand? Kanti if maybe umuntu ufika right in the relationship, I resolve all those issues, then the girlfriend wouldn't feel ukuthi ngaphezu kwakhe, you understand? Mele sithole ingathini, is it a threshold?
Yeah, balance, I guess. I don't know.
A balance, yes, where we will meet each other halfway to say, no, ungakhohlwa baby, si lana because we are in a relationship. Angsungu mama akho, you understand? Neither you my dad. So singabekelani imithetho or singafilisani ukuthi mhlambe omunye umntwana, omunye uyabona umzali.
Does it ever work, those type of relationships? Do they ever work, those relationships, like where the woman is the one who's bringing the money and the guy is not? Is there one that you know, or maybe there's a situation where you've seen where that setup actually works best?
No, they don't work, because I think isikhathi masiya, human nature does kick in. Yeah, understand? When if your biological system is being suppressed, your testosterone levels are being suppressed, we understand that. Then mhlazana zipesta, yeah, understand that, and then your person will be overwhelmed because mhlampe in those relationships the dynamics is that the woman uzama ukontrola the relationship because usebenzisa imali ukuthi aqindezele, you know, the partner. Mina personally, relationships ezinjalo, they never work out. Yeah, I understand that because the woman most of the time, she's the one in control. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. You know, I've seen it work like once or twice, and how they would work, weirdly enough, is if the guy becomes abusive to the woman. So the guy dominates the woman by being abusive kuye, and then the woman gulana angakhona ukuthi atelele the guy, but still she still brings the money in the relationship and kuba grand kanjalo. If she tries to like dominate the guy in a way, the guy comes power a bit more than the one she's coming with.
But yabona ukuthi the guy ends up having anger because of the suppressed hormones. I mean, why isn't flowing naturally so that the guy can be free and content in being a man, you know, instead of being suppressed? Because obviously, uzokwata. I mean, if someone takes your human nature from you, will you act naturally? You won't. So I think that's why uba nama-dynamics anjalo when you find a lot of battered women. Yabo ukuthi, you know, uyangithanda, you know, and that's why yangishaya.
Zane, sorry, you're not going.
Yeah, it's a fucked up mentality, but it thing, you know.
Sorry, Zane.
I actually agree with most of what Fifi has just said.
Yeah.
But I wanted to acknowledge something that she said earlier on. Women are really killing it, Buffett. Okay. Out here, women are killing it. But now, I actually wanted to ask you something. So being a female, dating a guy, let's say he doesn't work, he's unemployed, obviously, most of the times you women would stay because he has potential. That's what they say. So now the question is, does sex play any role in that? Meaning, guti, yo, akekho umuntu oke wangenza kanje ever in my life.
But most of the time, vele guys abangasebenzi apparently babhala kamnandi. Because what else do you? Phela bayalwa, you know, ukuthi, you know, I'm lacking in this department, so I must make up like for
elsewhere.
it.
They have the whole day to practice some strokes.
Exactly. Exactly. So, you know, I think vele most people aba in relationships nabantu abangasebenzi bazobabaza the sex part ukuthi, oh, I shame. Ngihamba ngi-satisfied yawubhala kamnandi ubanibani, and you know, I'm good, I'll probably stay for that. But in reality, sex doesn't pay the bills, unfortunately. So that's what makes izinto very difficult, you know, ukuthi eventually maybe ungatshola nomuntu for 5 years, you know, angasebenzi, but pressure will creep in at some point of the relationship ukuthi marandoda awusathi nawe ufuna umsebenzi kena, so that sibone ukuthi siphusha kanjani impilo, yabona.
Just one last question. How long do you think a woman can stay with a guy that's unemployed? What should be maybe the maximum time in terms that maybe let's say we've started dating in December.
Yeah.
How long do you think a woman should wait for a guy to maybe get his shit together, if you may put it like that, and then, you know, when he's up in his feet, then a relationship is stabilized? Because honestly, a relationship when the one doesn't work and the other one works, it's not very stable. We may look at the love fact, we may look at the kindness of your heart saying, I'm gonna stick with this guy up until, you know, his shit is together. But now, how long do you think women should stay with that fact? My guy doesn't work, he keeps on trying? Or is there a time frame that maybe women give themselves? No, Nyamtanda, I will give him 2 years or 3 years or maybe 5 years. Like, do women ever have that sort of thing going on?
I think that point should come when the guy realizes how serious he wants to be with, like, in the relationship. Yabo. Because we can date in December. Yeah, most people, they say, are you in a relationship with December? But then, when as the guy, the moment you realize that you want to be serious with her, that's when now where you need to pull up your socks. Because in a committed relationship, you need to build, based on what you both want within the relationship. You understand? Anyeke nilethe umntwana ungasebenzi. You can't say ukuthi ufuna ukumprovidela or build a home for her whereas wena urelaxile. So it varies on different guys, because abanye mhlampe njengoba nicale ukujola ngoDecember, first day you met wathi ngizomshada lo, and then that's when he started getting his shit together. Waqala uk-apply ngathi uyahlanya, waqala ukufaka, wazifaka under pressure, waqala ukuthi like ngathini athathe himself more seriously, because to be honest guys, they need motivation. Uyabona? So if umotivate umuntu azwana naye, great. So kuya ngokuthi wena umthatha seriously after how long after you met, after the first encounter. Abanye mhlampe they take 6 months, abanye they take a year. You understand? So yeah.
Quickly, I just want to, I think for me, I'm trying to understand this concept of when a woman says, I'm not your mother, like, where is the difference between your partner in terms of girlfriend, wife, whatever, and then in terms of how you compare it to a mother characteristics? Because I'm sitting here thinking, okay, fine, cool. Because as a woman who takes care of you, she cooks for you, she does laundry, she does all these things for you. I mean, that's stuff which you'd expect your woman to do for you when you do your part and whatever the case may be. But then you find women who now take all those things and then switch it up and say, but I'm not your mother.
Yeah, I get it.
So I'm trying to understand the difference between...
No, I think, a lot of gents, when they go into relationships, they forget into like and, helping around the house. Those are life skills,
The life skills?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you are expected at your age to be able to do certain things.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean because now I'm in the picture, you can now because you need to remember life skills that you need to acquire within the relationship, the partnership. So if kula, and then what's gonna happen? Does that mean rekaseji? Because I'm the one who cooks? No.
Okay.
Well, I understand. So
yeah.
I think that's where a lot of people get it wrong. Now that Madam thing, I don't have to do shit. Because she'll take care of everything. And then that's when eventually she will resent you, because she knows, but I hate the fact that now every time I'm there, I'm the one who does everything. And then at the end of the day, you still want me to come. How will I come? I'm tired.
Yeah, okay.
I was mothering you the whole day from Hoseng. I was making you breakfast, lunch. I still make you dinner. I still wash your laundry. I still tidy up the house. I'm exhausted,
So there's more about shared responsibilities.
Of course. Kama we have kids. I need to take care of the kids. I need to take care of you as well. So, like now, when you have forgotten that you have life skills to assist me within the relationship. And then by the end of the day, I'm exhausted. You understand?
Yeah.
And then I will resent coming to you. And unfortunately, if we live together, then
Yeah, I know.
I will experience burnout within the relationship. I'm tired.
Okay.
How will I put on makeup from all the stuff that I was doing in the household?
Sorry.
I actually want to add on what Fifi is saying. I fully agree with what you're saying. Doc, there's guys that don't want to do anything in clean. You know what I mean? and you go into that relationship. It's a partnership, you know. It's supposed to be fair, you know. If you are going to be in love with someone, I always just say that you also have to take care of them mentally, kumele be healthy, yabona, everything else, you know. So now, if you are going to let her do everything, including the kids are exhausting, bro.
No.
Kids will have you lay in bed the whole day and not wanting them to come back anytime soon.
Yeah.
Kids are exhausting. Firstly, she has to deal with that. She has to cook for you. She has to prepare the house. She has to clean. She has to maybe do laundry for the kids and yourself included. Yabona. And then now, how do you expect her to feel at night, Vele, when Masoti, baby, or whatever she may be wearing in it, you know? Are you expecting her to kind of like give you the same reception when she's retired, when she's rested? And it's not going to be the same. So I actually do understand this thing. Coming from Ufifi. You can't make this person your mother, because your mother did everything for you. And some guys, I would notice that some guys, like, they didn't get that motherly love and those life skills now. They didn't get them at home. So you go into a relationship and, dog, you don't want to do anything because you are expecting this person to mother you. It's wrong, dog. So you need to be at a compromising side now, instead of like just letting her do everything. So yeah, my take is actually to agree with Ufifi.
Okay. Jig, I don't know, there's something you want to add?
So my head goes to failures of black men, yabo? Because personally, I don't see a problem with mothering a guy, yabo? So I think the problem comes when you are mothered, but when you're not fathering the girl at the same time, yabo?
Okay.
Because what happens is, if you have all the finances, as a guy, and you can take off the family and do everything, and your woman doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
The only thing that she has to do is the life skills, and the whatevers. I think it wouldn't be a problem. The problem comes when she has to play two parts. She has to go to work, make the money, and then she has to mother you as well. Now, for her, she's playing a double role. And for a guy, you're just playing one role, maybe just bringing the cash. So for the woman to be okay, I feel Luguti, you just have to not make her play the father role. She just has to play the mother role, and I think she'll be fine. You know?
Yeah, I think for me, maybe that's why I was asking that question, because I'm standing more on Jiggy's perspective, because I'm seeing as a Goti, if as a man you're doing everything to make her life easier, then obviously, ideally, you think you're doing things to she's doing things to make your life easier. So it's almost like you're balancing each other out, because everything she does for you is so that you can go there and do what you're good at.
Yes.
And everything you're doing is so that she can able to do what she does for you. So it almost like balances itself out. So I guess what Jiggy said maybe is actually correct in terms of that the problem comes when maybe it gets heightened where now you're doing the most of the work, even what he's supposed to be doing as well, right? Okay.
Yeah, it's reciprocal.
No, and that I guess then it makes sense when we put it like that, because now we had kind of like 4 opinions on it, so it makes sense because it's more situational in most cases, because I feel like there's guys who are probably sitting there and for them they are working, maybe they're doing, but now the things that sometimes women also, maybe because of the level of how he's doing it, it's not satisfactory to you. Then in terms of trying to, whether to inspire him or whether to kind of put him down, whatever, then you start using those terms like, I'm not your mother, because instead of he's giving you 50, but you want 100 or you want 75. And the reason why you want 75 or 100 is because you're looking at your friends or maybe social media, or you're looking outside, like, but then I'm supposed to be getting 100, or other people are getting 100, but I'm getting 50, you know?
Yeah, I think it also goes back to what Zane said, Guti. Women, they fall in love with potential.
Oh, yeah,
you know, then
100%.
once the expectations of the potential that I had for you is not met, then now I want to fix you, you know, and me not being the fixer, now I become disappointed because, you know, I had set a milestone for Uchi, for example, Uguti. When I invest in him and this relationship, I expected Uguti after a certain period, he would have now elevated to the standard that I want. And then forgetting that Jiggy is also his own person. You know, he probably has his own
Traumas,
goals and
issues.
traumas, and you know, and I think the trauma part, dating people and not knowing their childhood traumas is what kills a lot of relationships, because those issues, they are unresolved, you know, and then now you expect me to address them within our relationship. That's how it ends up now being nna gore I'm telling you, gore I'm not your mother, because you have unresolved issues with your mother, the one that birthed you, you know, and now you expect me to rectify all her mistakes because of the traumas and the things that she put you through, you know. And you know, I can say from a professional standpoint,
Yeah.
a lot of people, they develop mental disorders, you know, and their mental health is not in check, to a point that when they enter relationships, they deteriorate those relationships because of unresolved issues. And then you find that now you are in a healthy relationship, a very healthy relationship, like your partner's everything that you've dreamed of. But when you cannot now, you know, interact healthily, Liana, because of your unresolved issues, you know. So I think if people could maybe I could say or not, because let's go social work in my mind.
Yeah.
I feel like when you start dating someone, like take the time to get to know them. I understand. Yeah, dating is fun. But like when you talk about the serious stuff, baby, what are your trauma, your mental, your childhood traumas, you know? Do you have any mental disorders? And unfortunately, Mokasi, if you start saying I have anxiety, I have bipolar, I have depression, wahlanya. Yeah, she's crazy. Wahlanya.
Yeah. There's those stereotypical. Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then when I I yeah, understand. But then if I go okay, baby, during my childhood, being scheming, I experienced peer pressure. I experienced bullying from my peers. I experienced bullying from my parents. I experienced this from my cousins. I was sexually assaulted as a child. That's why maybe today I'm sexually active. I'm hyper when it comes to
You're sexually liberated.
I'm sexually liberated. It's a trauma response.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And when you're not aware,
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying? So I feel like if people could address those things,
Yeah.
then you understand your partner better, and then you be like, oh, okay. I expect now and then hormotaka and lady triggers because we experience it's a trauma. So hatoma abalidi outbursts, I'll be more understanding. I'll give a space. I will avoid conflict because I know hormotaka, this is what she went through. I will suggest things like counseling. I'll sit down with my partner. I will talk to her. I will engage, you know, instead of us drinking and, you know, getting high.
Masking everything, right?
Masking everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think, you know, if you could just address those childhood traumas, a lot of relationships would be in a good space. Because one thing that people don't talk about is unlearning those toxic traits that you have, you know, accumulated or developed from the relationship.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm saying she took the words right out of my mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Remember what I was trying to explain on one of our episodes, that you need to vet someone, find out everything about it. She's saying it, articulating it better, you know. You need to check these people, bro. You can't just go into a relationship and say, I lo shang a big booty. and I like
It's very
this person.
superficial, actually. When you
These people have issues, doc. You need to find out a whole lot before, so that you are better sensitive in terms of if you really do like that person, you know how to handle this person, And Fifi just explained everything. I love that, Fifi.
Thank you.
No, I think. Look, I mean, it's look. Like some of the stuff Fifi says, man, it's amazing as well. And I know there's a lot of, like, we've had people say like similar stuff as well. But I also realize how they, like, sometimes people don't even know their own traumas sometimes, right? It's a thing where you're more reactive to situations than actually knowing why you're reacting to that kind of situation. And maybe counseling is a solution for that as well.
Yeah.
So I understand like what you're saying about trying to what's this? Like to come to the party in terms of asking, But also, I think when it comes to relationships are so tricky because like nowadays, I've had a situation where, especially what Zayn was saying, like the whole vetting thing. When you go, like now, I feel like you have to vet even longer than before, right?
Yeah.
There's people who say you need to vet a woman like about 6 months to a year before you actually know, But then now you get girls who they so, like you said, like they're chasing status or they're chasing titles. Then now when you're not maybe closing things off in your time frame, then you're afraid of commitment or you're a person who like why are you dragging things? Do you really want this relationship because of maybe trying to go through that whole vetting process? And I've always said, for me, I've always told people that I'm dating that, like there's always a first time for everything. As much as we're together, but I know there's going to be the first time when I see you cry, there's the first time when I see you angry, there's the first time when I see you jealous, or whatever the case may be. And those first times, sometimes you're gonna find yourself where you shoot yourself in the foot where because you only saw her happy or maybe sad, then it's like, okay, fine, this is enough. And then you date 3 months in, 6 months in, you see how she is when she's jealous.
Yeah.
And it's just not what you expected.
Yeah.
So people now all of a sudden now it's a problem because like, this person who I've always seen happy, whatever, but now how she reacts when she's jealous, she breaks my car, she keys my stuff, she paints, whatever. Like she's just wild whenever she goes through certain things. Then you're like, you didn't give yourself enough time to kind of maybe experience all different sides, or even to see how your friend, like how your partner is when she's around your circle.
I think the difference between guys and girls can do everything concurrently. We are good at multitasking. So with you guys, you want to focus on one thing at a time, which drags, the process of you getting to know her.
Yes.
Whereas you can try to be smart about it and assess her in your own way. For example, maybe invite her in a social gathering like a chillas or a braai, and you have all your friends there, and then just assess her behavior.
Yes.
And then
I think we do that actually. Just a
you do, yeah. It's just that it's not a conversation that you guys have. Like you guys have, with your partner. Sometimes you surprise her, and she doesn't know that you are actually testing her.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of guys need to normalize to have pillow talk with your partner where you actually, ask questions, because it doesn't mean when you're in a relationship with someone you'll have fun times only, but don't wait for her to lash out or to crash out for you to see that side of her, because you might not even like her anymore because now you're seeing a different side of her, So, yeah.
Okay. Do you?
Yeah. So, I think you guys are just talking from a place of privilege.
Probably.
Yeah,
no, I could agree to that.
Yes, because there's people who don't have options out there, and from what you are saying, I think you can say that if you know Guti, it's easy for you to find the next person, because if you vet someone, you don't like this thing, and then you just move on, you find somebody else. But there are people out there who could stay maybe like 2 years without being approached. So now if it's that situation, then the vetting process is different. So yeah.
No, I feel that. And I think it's true because obviously we're all coming from a different perspective. And which is why I still feel like sometimes things that we may say, they sound so very textbook. They sound like, oh, this is a perfect scenario.
But isn't it by choice that a person chooses not to approach abantu or... I don't know.
What do you mean, isn't it by choice? Like,
people choose to be single. I mean, khona ma out share abantu every day.
I
And I'm
disagree.
rejected every day,
No.
but I got paid more.
I disagree.
Okay.
Yeah, Kona machita mfethu. There's guys who actually struggle yabona with ukshela. Even that, it takes a lot of energy for them, and it's not a easy thing to do. You might think it's easy to just walk up to someone who figure kulmanai. A lot of guys find that very difficult to do. Yabona, they become scared as if like they're seeing a snake or something when they have to do that. Yabo. So some people, especially guys, most of the time they are single because they don't have a choice. It's not something that they want, but it's a situational thing. And even if maybe they do find the guts,
disagree.
even if they do find the guts to actually go to again and alone, maybe I'm for 9 out of 10 times they make him feel worse about himself. The way along corner and things like that. Even making him more gutasabe uga kuboken.
But that means that person has issues with their self-esteem and self-confidence, even self-awareness, if sibega in an umbrella. So I feel when they can't use that as an excuse for not putting themselves out there. That's why it's very important for people to work on themselves.
Yes.
Yeah, I understand. Boost your self-confidence. Anyage minangupi self-confidence. Hinto that you need to build for yourself, for you to be out there. That's why you can get umuntu or ongatini who's living in poverty. Umuntu ongasebenzi ongana next. But uyathandeka because of his self-confidence yakhe. You understand? Anga approach slay queen. Sihleki slay queen. Even though she knows this guy is not my type, agaweli gule standard sami mara maybe ngoba uyakwazi ukugringa uguy yabona uyaflow uyazithemba, he might just get a chance even though she knows ukuthi angimthandi, but ungichazile, that's why it's a self-confidence issue, it's a self-esteem issue ukuthi umuntu angazibeki out there, uyabona.
Manje, unfortunately, the world is full of imbos in fact too. It's like there's a lot of imbuzi more than outivele who are like that, who have the self-confidence and all. Yabona? So it's very rare ukuthola machita, and even that's why even guys, they admire and look up to guys abakhona ukuthola bogel, because to them it's a very difficult thing to do. Yabo. I understand it's easy. You getting, like, I know even now, if you want to find a guy you can be with, I feel like you can just go out now.
Yeah, because they get approached on it as well. So, yeah.
So with a guy, that's not the case. So
but that's the thing. Social media has made things very difficult
like
for
technology
you.
actually.
Yeah, it ni bulale the essence of ukshela, courting someone. Actually ungashela umuntu a whole month.
Yeah.
Khona abantu that have bashele umuntu for a whole year and then they eventually got their shot because ba enjoy the art yokushela. Nina nisasheli once ngakupha ama number wami sesiyajola songibiza ngo baby ichayile, and then kusasa mangizokubuza ukuthi how chiki sengumuntu wakho ngaziphi bese wena ungitshela ukuthi maka bungiphela nama number, like ungishele nini.
No, but I think also like you said, like technology like has changed things like drastically, and it has given people also the false sense of options.
Even
right?
the got Tinder, like the dating sites.
Yes.
Moto once I find number how you assume korai.
Nah. For a guy, it's different. I don't even
I'm
think.
telling you.
You know what? I think as a guy,
we
we know as guy the number. It's like the number is just it's nothing. To be honest.
I get if Lona maybe lichuta kidi ratios. There are a lot of women than men more fighting over it. I don't know, but like guys, go back to the essence, yaw shela. Like ask a person out. Like growing up on Otoladi poem, like Mutangwala poem, poise heart out on a poem, or even write the lyrics a song that he felt resonated with how he feels about you.
Can I just chip in? Yeah. Just for awareness purposes, we've obviously just discussed the landscape dog share out in Teganjan manje. Person gives you numbers and then we assume or no, we are getting married. So for educational purposes, in your view and as a woman, and for people out there who don't know maybe uthi okushela into kanjani, would you maybe give us an idea uthi makuthiwa umuntu uyakushela, what type of nice things or what type of things a guy would say, or what type of behavior or what is expected of umsheli?
Okay. I think umsheli needs to get the attention of lo muntu amshelayo. Can be in a form of a compliment. Yabo umcomplimente umhle kanjani, ungigcokela kamnandi, ngithanda ismile sakho, unuka kamnandi. Women love that. Words of affirmation. Affirma singakajoli. You boost nami confidence yami ukuthi I'm worthy to be loved by you. So we can reverse the 5 love languages in the term of in terms of ukshela. Abanye they buy people gifts ukuthi yabo, it's not a ngatini.
Hey, but the gift one though, Fifi,
it's not like ngiyakuthenga, but I'm showing you ukuthi I value you by getting something new, getting you something nice for you ukuthi ungikhumbule ngayo. Ngiyazi ukuthi ushela ama OTA 5 a daily, but I want to stand out. I want you to remember me. Ngiyazi ukuthi awuna sikhathi sami, but I can make up to it ngezinye indlela. I know I haven't met you face to face, but me affirming you ngamazwi amnandi, ngiyakuthambisa. You understand? And then what else? Give words of affirmation, give quality time, give gifts, give physical touch.
What's the one? Acts of service,
yes. So you can go back to those things and say ukuthi nyazi baby girl ukuthi angisebenzi anginamali, but ngicela ukukwashela ikari yakho, ngicela ukukwashela amateki wakho. People used to do that, but then manje it's like you feel ukuthi kumele ngiyozifaka ekolotweni, ngiyeka amashonisa, ngingene kangaka ukuthi impress wena, only for you to reject me. You understand? So I think ukuthi mina, from a girl's point of view, njengoba ngokuphendula, go back to the 5 love languages. Trust me, there's no way in hell ukuthi out of those 5 none of them will work.
Okay, I understand, and thank you for that answer. That probably will answer a lot of questions.
You're welcome.
But a woman, and I'm asking this out of genuine
interest.
Out of genuine curiosity. Are women still into those guys? Me, I'm Mr. Lava. I always just say that. I'm one of those guys that just love affection, and I show it. Who might say what?
PDA, like stuff.
I'm into the cheesy stuff, but I'm noticing that as the world is moving forward, we are falling short of guys like me.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to ask is, do women even still enjoy those guys who maybe, let's say, usespanini ubona marosa yangena, sinenini ngiyavela lapho ngigqoka isuti ngiyaqulela, that guy, guys that do those type of things.
We love that. We love that a lot.
Those are the guys that get embarrassed the most
and rejected.
Rejected the most.
You know what? I think manje masibheka umjolo wanamhlanje ne. we are so used to situationships that when someone loves you genuinely, it's taboo. Yabo, menzani lona, yabo, because abantu they don't love loudly anymore. Yabo, because mhlampe ni for kuye or yabo nama sneaky link and yeah, understand. So I think maybe if we could just go back to being monogamous and ujole nomuntu one and abantu they would appreciate such gestures, yabo. Knowing ukuthi umuntu wami is so affectionate and anytime is tea time noma sihambe mall hayi umuntu ozothi kuwe hayi baby singangibambile yabo ngoba kunosibani owazi sneaky link sakhe you understand like so I think laba ba embarrasswayo it's those girls that probably have options who are entertaining more than one person. And but umuntu ojola nomuntu oyi-one okuthandana nomuntu oyi-one would love such things,
I think for me, my take is that I think also a lot of the times women assume attraction when it comes to such things because in most cases they say you can't choose who you're attracted to, right? But now the thing is that it's the same example like how two scenarios where a woman, like let's say if a man says something or touches or whatever, for a guy she does not like, that's harassment.
Of course.
But for the guy that she likes, it's endearing. Yes. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying, that sometimes women, depends, like because they assume attraction, like the stuff that you're saying, if she does not like that guy, everything that she does will seem creepy or cringe. You know what I mean? So unfortunately, it's just a thing of, if she's not attracted to you already, those things that lover boys do, they mean nothing. Yes. Yeah.
It all goes back to what Jiggy was saying.
Yes.
Guys get embarrassed. The courage to do that.
Yeah.
And you have to be really confident to do some of the things that some of us can't do with Manji. Now, I don't even think about it for 2 seconds. Baby. Yeah.
And I think also it goes back to Fifi. The reason why in today's time, guys and girls, they want to do the least with the maximum output.
Yes.
Right? So because us as guys, I know like majority of guys, what they do, they want to do the least to see if you actually like me.
Yeah.
Right? And then once they've put you enough through things that prove to him that, you actually like me for who I am.
Yeah.
Then they start now doing the extra stuff because it's like, because now you've proven yourself, you know what I mean? So it's unfortunate that obviously guys, they will not necessarily do all those crazy stuff in the beginning, which women would love to do, like because women also walk into it with that whole notion of like, prove to me that I should give you time, or like convince me that, you know what I mean? And because a lot of women go in it with that attitude of like, no, convince me, whatever the case may be. So then it's like now you're like a puppet, with like convince, do something. Like, make me laugh.
No, but when do you honestly think, Jorge, you are not the only one courting her? Like, she does have other suitors. But when you must prove yourself, okay, you think, I think I'm the best candidate, or the best
I think
suitor.
It's a bad idea, dog.
Which one?
To buying flowers.
No.
That's a horrible idea.
And romantic movies. We want you to do what we see in the movies. Yeah.
Like once you've proven that you like the guy, I think those things, they work. But beforehand, when you have not got nothing to show for it, it becomes very... And the thing is that for us guys, most of the time we have a lot to lose, or we're the one who invest the most in the early stages. And sometimes it's very difficult to know if the investment is worth it or whatever the case may be, because there's no direct feedback for that. Or actually, in most cases there is, because you can say that the thing about rejection, as a guy, we know rejection like upfront if the girl doesn't like you, just from how she acts.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for women, you guys never really know if we reject you guys, because it's very covert.
And I can lona lerato ghostana, and you are emotionally absent, So like with us, we value things like consistency. Which I was thinking when she every day for 1 month, like okay, give me a chance.
Okay.
Hence, wabana ntho tse tshwana le bo 90-day rule ke the boundaries that women set for themselves just to test are they firm on their boundaries or not? You know, as it aba gore panisha lona go shapa letsogo. No, it's just to see gore nna the boundaries tse ke ipehetseng tsona within this relationship. Wabana, how strong are they? And which boundaries am I willing to bend to accommodate you?
Yeah. Because you bend a lot for people. You're like, sorry.
So, Maya, you know what's the problem with courting like that? The problem is that it's more aligned to what you said, Uti. There's a recruitment budget and
maintenance.
What's the recruitment budget?
Yeah. Oh, you don't know? It's the first time you hear this.
Yes, it's my first
there's a recruitment budget.
Really?
Yeah. And I think, okay, maybe you continue.
Sorry about that, Chigi.
Yeah, so, you know, you said as well, Uti, you want guys with consistency. So if you put that like a high expectation in the beginning, then that's what she's gonna expect throughout the relationship. If you do all that, now if it's after a month and you give him a chance thinking, okay, this is gonna be the life that we live. And then now, for you as a guy, it took a lot of effort for you to do that. Now in the relationship, it's always gonna be a relationship where now you have to put in a lot of effort to maintain the relationship. So it's always best for the guy to do the absolute least you can do initially when you are courting a girl. If I like Frostani, maybe just by a conversation you're having with her, then you just move on right along. And not buy flowers, rose buds and all that. So I think it's a very bad idea.
Yeah, but I think maybe just into what you're saying, so it's almost like you're asking about the whole recruitment budget. It's like a guy taking you to fire room, like for your first date.
Okay.
But then obviously once you kind of now like, okay, this guy can actually, he's capable of doing, and then all of a sudden then now it's not consistent. Now he takes you to McDonald's now. Then you're like,
oh, the good thing.
Yeah, the good thing. All right, yeah. You know what I mean? Because he's doing the most to catch you.
Oh yeah.
You know, but unfortunately he's not able to follow through consistently as the relationship goes. And unfortunately that does kind of play against him. Because you end up be like, this guy, he was fake. You can start calling those big names. He played me, Boramaka, whatever the case may be, you know. And yeah, it just looks bad on the guy. But there's reasons why the guys move the way they do. Because again, we also now, because you must remember, like you mentioned earlier on, that you guys have evolved like extremely ahead, you know. And fortunately or unfortunately, you know, the system supports your growth because they say women hold the biggest debt because you guys are just consumers. Yeah. You know, so economically, it made sense for women to progress.
Yeah.
Right? Because it just makes it better for advertisers, makes it better for the GDP, you know, because you guys are consumers. But now, also even now with now there's affirmative action that also came into the workplace where, you know, as a woman, black, whatever the case may be, disabled, now you get higher preference than a man, you know. So there's a lot of things that's working for you guys economically that's making you guys be able to supersede us. But now as a man in that ecosystem, when you're trying to find your place and still try to become a partner, it's a very difficult, it's a slippery slope where you're trying to be yourself, chase your dreams, but opportunities are not opening up for you because there's preference for you guys. You guys are more likely to get increases than whatever because by the like women, they are more, what can I say? You guys are easier to manipulate as well. I don't know, you know. So it gets easier for you to guys to, like when they put you in certain positions of power, you know, they know okay, if we will able to, you know, first of all, like live up to the standard of what maybe protocol requires us to do to have a woman in place, but we're also able to kind of keep you in this curated ecosystem that works for us, you know. I don't know if you guys want I thought you wanted to say
I was
something.
actually going a different direction.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Okay.
I was saying I was completely going a different direction from what you were saying. So that's why I was dropping the mic.
Oh, okay, no, that's fine.
And then do you still want me to ask the question? Because it's a question that I was curious about earlier in the show because of what Fifi said.
No, you can hit. I don't know if time allows us, but it just hit us with one more. Look, I mean, like we're having such an interesting conversation. We might have to bring Fifi back for part 2, man.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
just hit your question.
So Fifi did mention Uti, she's part traditional healer.
Yes.
Not part. Fully. Fully. What am I saying?
10 years
Forgive
in.
me, Fifi.
10 years in, yeah.
Yeah.
One. And now that we are on the topic of relationships and all, there's women that abanokufaka amachita entando.
Yeah.
You know, love potion, salt bay. You know. And I'm curious about a couple of things with regards to that.
Okay.
Firstly, a guy that ofagwe intando, they become weak for some reason. Like, you find a guy that this guy is the strongest guy that I've ever met, but you know, that's one of the first things that concerns me. And then, what is in this thing? Because these guys become abo yes men, you know. So my curiosity, like in terms of that, and I think also people need to maybe kind of know,
Okay.
so that you can be cognizant of, you know, there's some salt bay in your life, and you know.
Okay, I'd like to correct you. Initially, vele it was women laba beba sebenzisa intando or imithi or alchemy to manipulate their lovers. Kodwa now of late, it's guys that do it. Guys also do it. I feel ukuthi, you know, ukusebenzisa umuthi or like alchemy for people that are watching the show that don't you understand Venek. Once you use traditional herbs to manipulate your lover, I feel ukuthi it's not an energy thing. It's now a destiny thing. It's like destiny swapping in a way. You are manipulating the person's destiny, you know. You are manipulating the person's future, you know. You are manipulating the person's ancestry and the plans that amadlozi wakhe bewambekele wona. Mhlampe you guys were supposed to date or for a short period of time, or maybe bukumela be sneaky link sakho, but because wena ukupheka mnandi or uyamthanda, you know, you love the person to a point yokuthi you want to manipulate the person ukuthi that person should be what you want them to be, forgetting ukuthi his or her ancestors wanted certain things for them, but because you are using muti to manipulate his destiny, angeke asafika lapho. He might not even get there because now his journey was cut short because bekumele be smashing past kuwe. Then when you decided to hold him back, ngomuthi, right? Making him do whatever you want, manipulating him to do what you want. You understand? Thing is, people, they don't understand ukuthi when you put a love potion onto someone, or you damage the person not only biologically but spiritually as well, because you create hindrances that person cannot reverse, for instance. And if uyamdlisa umuntu intando yakho, you put it in actual food and the person consumes your muti, it will be difficult for that person to purge that aikipe, because maingena in your system, it creates something else within you, and then you can't, it's difficult for you to take that thing out because spiritually it has created something within you. We understand? So I feel that people that do that, bazicabangela bona, they are self-centered. They are not thinking about the person that they are manipulating, you know, which makes it hard for that person because okokuqala, it's like being in a state of hypnosis. A lot of people can convince that person, no, this person is not good for you. but because you are under a spell, you are not aware of what's happening to you until you do seek help from a traditional healer or someone who is spiritual to help you purge that evil spirit or that muti from inside of you or break that spell.
So they always just say that crocodile meat like helps. I am not sure. I have never been in this situation. So, or like, what do you think about that?
There are other herbs that help a person with iliso. You know, it's not crocodile meat. Even the oil is what people would normally recommend because that's what's popular. But there are herbs that help with addressing that. You know, yeah. But then you know, guys that do that to women, it's even worse because you understand the woman has a womb. You are now corrupting the womb and generations that woman was supposed to create that womb, you know. And the curse is deeper than that. That the curse is deeper than that because now, like I mentioned, destiny swapping. When someone uses muti to create curses onto your name or to manipulate your destiny, like that is something that is beyond your control. That's something that is from like in another dimension. It's not in the current realm, you know. And in the spiritual realm, that person has now affected your ancestors, you know. Your ancestors, they feel hindered, they feel restricted with regards to assisting you because it's something that is done intentionally and that person you know, put a spell on you.
It's like umkhovu, so in a way.
That person, it's like that person is but how can I put it? That person is attaching an evil spirit to you or a spirit that is unknown to you and to your ancestors. That's why you find that if a person, Bayamdlisa, their ancestors, they cannot connect with them because the spirit that has been attached needs to be removed for them to connect again with that person.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is there a blood type O for this? Like, I mean that is there people where this can't work on them?
Or basically like they're immune.
Yes. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Some people are divinely protected, you know, because they have, you know, warriors that work with them. Yeah, they might be affected a bit by whatever, but it might not have full force on them, you know. But yeah, you do get people that are untouchable spiritually.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like I feel like this subject could go in so many levels and so many different directions, you know.
Yeah.
So for the sake of time, I think maybe we should park it.
Okay.
And then I'd like to maybe even get people who'll watch this episode and let us know if they want you to come back and maybe give us more insight. Yeah, yeah, she could give us more insight on, because I feel there's other stuff that we probably didn't touch on.
Yeah.
And I think we've already gone over an hour.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
it's
thank
pretty
you for
wild.
having me. It was awesome. Hey?
Yeah, no, man, it's been amazing. So look forward for you to come back. And for you guys who are watching the show as well, please comment, give us what you guys liked about the episode. Should Fifi come back? Give us more insight on the other side, you know. But until the next one, guys, as always, please like, share, subscribe, do all the fun things, and yeah, we'll check you on the next episode. Awesome.